This video was long overdue, and I mean way overdue, for one reason. I wanted to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, because when you look at his channel and the videos he does, he seems like a nice guy. Originally, I was going to do a video on all the big content creators since they do the exact same type of content. Hide and seek, fashion shows, the same content with the most overhyped intros. However, Cypher and Courage are nothing compared to this guy, Nick A30. This dude's been getting into a lot of drama over the years and has had major issues with some content creators, big and small. And just now, he's gotten himself into some hot water once again because of an update, which I'll get into later on this video. I also want to stress that despite my strong feelings towards Nick, I do not hate the guy, nor do I advocate for anyone to hate or harass him. This isn't a hate video, but this is rather a call out video. Why don't we start with the controversies of his? Nick has had quite a bit of controversies involving content creators and players, but the two I want to focus on are Clix and Arch. Let's start with Clix. Clix is a 21-year-old competitive Fortnite player who streams on Twitch and has competed in multiple tournaments throughout his career, the biggest one being FNCS. So one day, Clix ended up playing Reload with Courage, Legion, and Nick A30. Now, what happened between him and Nick? Well, this clip speaks for itself.
What's your goals, Nick?
Stay looking beautiful, never back down, never give up.
Man, I like that.
Like you're 29 and you
care
have
of the fam.
everything. You have a beautiful family, you have a Ferrari, you have an icon skin, you're the guy from Fortnite. What's next? In a brain like the big A.
Tattoo for the boys.
Kill this guy. Got him.
Man, I can't ever be serious with them, dude.
Oh, dude, you broke the serious aspect when you're starting talking about different stuff like age and whatnot, bro. I don't like that. I told you about earlier, like we're talking about keeping it respectful.
Are you
and
self-conscious being old?
Oh.
no,
Wait, Kurt, how old are
dude.
you? Are you 30?
Wait. Don't change the subject now. Dude, I literally told you how it's important that you treat people with respect, and you don't have to do whatever you want to do, but I'm saying if you want to play, I feel like you got to treat everyone with respect. I don't disrespect you, don't disrespect me. That's it.
Yeah, no, you're spitting right now. You're
Dude,
spitting right now.
like this is what I'm talking about, bro. I don't even want to play with you anymore, to be honest. Don't talk about age like that and then try to get all funny and all that stuff. Like, I'm literally hyping you up, I'm gassing you up and everything, and now you're trying to be all, you know? I don't like that. You don't gotta agree with it, but if you want to play, then let's play. Otherwise, like, we just don't play together, whatever.
Okay, okay, I think I know what you mean here. So, the age thing is a big no-go.
Dude, anything that doesn't have to do with respect. Like, just respect each other, that's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't even mean it like, you know, like you're like old. Like, I meant it just like you're older, you know?
Okay, just dude, you're literally, I know what you're doing, bro.
I need help.
Honestly. Oh, wait,
No, I'm actually not even doing anything.
We're good.
No, I'm not.
Clix,
I swear I'm not doing anything.
Clix, you know what you do, bro? Stop that. Like, just stop. You know what you do. I don't even want to play with you anymore. Like, that's it.
No, I seriously don't even mean, like, I just meant, like,
I don't
you're
think
10
he
years
means
older
it to
than
be.
me.
Wait. I don't think he's meaning to be mean. I actually agree. If you're actually upset,
Come.
Let me get this straight. Clix asked Nick how old is he. His own chat told him he's 29. Clix got surprised by that, which made Nick pretty salty. He then asked Nick what were his future plans and acknowledged his accomplishments at the age of 29. And Nick got very sensitive about Clix bringing up his age to the point where he doesn't want to play with him anymore. The craziest part is that Courage was 30 years old at that time in that clip, and even he is acknowledging how much Nick is in the wrong. Crashing out on someone who was very respectful and didn't mean any harm is just insane. Keep in mind, this is also the same person who got butthurt believing that Clix chose not to give him early access to his icon skin, but it was actually Epic's fault for not giving Nick the grants when Clix sent out codes to pro players and content creators in the Epic Partner Program.
I get early access to the Clix in? No, I didn't. Honestly, I really am surprised. I thought he'd hook me up, but we'll just not rock it, I guess, you know? It's lose-lose for him, I guess, you know? I was gonna be more than happy to run it and use it, and I wanted to do some role play, but yeah. Dude, when I got my skin, I remember Clix was one of the first people I gave it to. Like, I made a list of like 20 creators that I wanted to have the skin, and I remember he was one of them. But, you know, it is what it is.
I don't know why Nick made a whole fuss about it when he could have handled the situation privately in a mature way. And the thing about Nick A30 is that he views himself as a positive streamer, but I understand that there are bound to be a few off days. It happens. However, I did mention 2 incidents. So what's the second incident? Well, let me tell you, it's even worse. A YouTuber named Arch made a video pretty much exposing Nick of scamming him. He donated $4 to Nick, asking him to give him a challenge for a video where he asked streamers to give him challenges in Fortnite. Nick responded by saying if he has any ideas, he'll say it on stream. And in the second donation, Arch gave him 2 ideas, but Nick ignored it. And then in the third donation, where he told Nick he missed the second one, Nick ended up lying by saying he responded 3 times, which he did not. And then after Arch donated a 4th time, Nick just busted off and then banned him from donating again. That part I can understand because you've already donated $15 in 6 combined donations. There was no need to waste any more money at that point. However, I'm on Arch's side in this situation. Nick, you agreed to give the kid a challenge. Had you actually given him one, or at the very least say no thank you, you wouldn't have gotten yourself in that situation. And any of you would think he would apologize for being rude and lying to him. Instead, he decides to make things worse. Arch then uploaded a second video exposing Nick of lying to his audience while streaming Red Dead Redemption 2. He kept calling him a liar, a manipulator, a douchebag, which by the way he claims to be family friendly, yet he's also using such colorful language in front of his young audience. Pretty contradictory if you ask me. And you could argue that sometimes he's not going to be so positive all the time and that he's more than likely going to be stressed out, but he literally forces others into keeping it family friendly. I'm not giving him mercy points because of that. And also he plays games like Call of Duty and expects people to be family friendly even though it's not meant to be family friendly. You can't expect people to be family friendly in a game that has toxic players, as well as blood and gore. If it was a game like Mario Party or anything that's catered towards families, that would make sense. And going back to the recent drama, this could have been avoided if Nick actually acknowledged his mistake and apologized. But the thing is, he has too much of a fragile ego to do something that any mature person would do. Don't get me wrong, Arch should have stopped after the 3rd donation because it was pretty clear that Nick wasn't going to stick with his word. But like I said, Nick agreed to give Arch a challenge, so he should have just thought of one. It wasn't really that hard to do. And saying that he made money off his name is completely untrue. Arch wasn't even monetized at that time, so he made no money off of those videos. You can't predict a video to be successful. He didn't even know those Nick A30 videos would blow up. And yeah, Nick did give a much better response, but again, could have just given him any challenge regardless if it's been done before or not. Either that or just kindly say no. As a content creator, you should always appreciate donations being given to you because it shows that they want to support you and are a fan of you. It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $5 or even $100. You should always show appreciation to people that want to donate to you. And also, him saying Arch was just trying to profit off of his name is kind of odd. He responded to the first video in a stream. Arch responded to that dog shit response. Not to mention, he made no money off the first video. If you watch the second video, he did show proof that he did not make any money off of the first video. This whole situation was a mess. It's good that these two moved on from the situation, but this is just a sign that Nick does not know how to handle criticism. I mean, remember when he got butthurt over his teammate asking if he thinks his song is cringe? And the kid wasn't even trying to be disrespectful. He was just sharing his own opinion.
You know we never back down, never what?
Okay. I'm not trying to be mean here, but between you and me, do you think that's a little cringe?
No. Bro, what are you talking about?
Like, I'm genuinely not trying to be mean, but do you think it's a little cringe, like the song and, you know, I mean, it's a good song.
Are you trying to be edgy so you can get a clip on TikTok? Be honest right now, because I'm about to mute you and leave the game. You better be honest right now.
No, I'm being serious.
You think I think it's cringy, bro?
Okay, just a little bit. I mean, like...
Number one... Okay. Dude, why are you trying to cue in my game if you're trying to, like, bring me down like that and trying to talk smack? Why?
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to talk smack. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, that's obviously not a nice way to start a conversation, bro.
I could go on and on about his behavior towards other Fortnite players, but I think you get the point of what type of person Nick is. Now let's get into the recent tweets he made, because I have never seen so much irony coming from this guy. Throughout the past few days, he's been making tweets talking about the state of Fortnite, so let's go over them. Arc Raiders is what Fortnite Delulu should have been. High stakes where both trusting or betraying someone is rewarded instead of feeling weightless. Every game with Delulu ends up with 20 people running around in circles until one person shoots and then it's chaos. And he also says, Fortnite viewership is down for streamers and long form content, but the player count is still healthy. So people like playing Fortnite but not watching it. Why? The formula has been the same for too long. After 8 years, people know what to expect in a typical BR match. There's just no reason for viewers to watch a full game except for a victory royale, which isn't a story people care about as much anymore. Like in Arc Raiders, there needs to be more surprises throughout. Finding real loot, a potential betrayal from players, attempting to get a successful extract. Fortnite needs an extraction mode. Lately with Fortnite Mirrors and now Winterfest, it seems there's been a heavy focus on just new skins and a decorated map. We don't get many new items or weapons that mix up the gameplay anymore. It's only unvaults. For this Winterfest, the only new gameplay item was the DeLorean, which was really cool by the way. But as a creator, that isn't much to make content on, and as a player, it doesn't change how we play games overall. I think Fortnite would have higher viewership in player counts with more updates focused on gameplay. Fortnite has been crushing the collabs, skins, map changes, new season launches, but it feels like the momentum shifts somewhat quickly without new core gameplay changes. Now, I get where he's coming from, but it's coming from the wrong place. Firstly, Nick, the issue isn't the formula being the same for 8+ years. The issue is you not attempting to make content that's more unique or at least try to do videos on the other modes. You've only done one video on Fortnite Reload, one video on Blitz, and I believe 2 videos on the permanent OG mode. Like, I'm not saying you have to make more videos on the other BR modes, but at least try to make videos that are more unique and not just the same react to content. There are many different formats of Fortnite videos for you to try, from commentary, to story lore, to spending sprees, tier lists, top 10s, etc. Secondly, we did get new content that shook up the gameplay, but look what happened. People kept bitching about the Nitro Fist, the Nitro Splash, Magneto Power, and of course, the cars. I don't care if it's just me. I will continue to defend Wreck till the world ends. The thing is, the Fortnite community will complain about wanting something different, and when we do get something different, Epic gets hit with backlash. Waterbending was introduced, yet people complained about it being too OP. Same thing with Deku Smash, the Kamiya Mama, and like I said, Direct Season. Now, to be fair to the people who complained about the cars being OP, I can understand that. They did feel too OP, and maybe Epic should have probably play tested the season a bit more, but everything else was fine. What I'm trying to say is that people should try to get used to whatever new crazy item Epic introduced, and if you're going to get burned out of BR mode, then there are other BR modes to play, or try out some of the Metaverse modes. To fully cap off these arguments that Nick made, what I think he should do is shed away from the family-friendly format and try to go for a more mature audience. Fortnite is doing the same as well. It's a T-rated game, so it should try to act like it. I'm not saying add blood and gore to it, but at least try and have cosmetics and gameplay feel more mature. Nick, nothing's wrong with swearing once in a while, and nothing's wrong with evolving your content to cater to older fans. Everyone's growing up and not everyone will stick around for the same old family-friendly content. You can't keep making the same content forever, and that also goes for Courage JD and Cypher BK. They also need to switch it up and start reaching out to a more mature audience. Come up with better ideas, do Fortnite content that's more different, maybe sit down and talk with your viewers about the game, and try to evolve as a content creator. It's not that hard to do, and I'm sure they will in the future. You may have also noticed that the gameplay in the background is nothing but Blitz, and I have nothing against BR. I was playing BR for a day before the update happened, which introduced one of the absolute worst decisions made when it came to BR. Epic thought it would be a bright idea to vault the shockwave grenades and unvault the crash pad jr.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
Are we dead ass? Nobody complained about the shockwaves being in the game for 6 fucking chapters in a row, and now they have a problem with it because they believe it takes no skill because people run away too much. I'm sorry, but I gotta call bullshit on that, okay? Let me break it down for all of you and all these poo brain players who thinks that. Shockwaves are good for mobility, offense, and defense. They're good for when you're trying to get out of a sticky situation, like trying to get out of the storm as quickly as possible, as well as soloing a squad or a trio. You can use them to try and split them up and take them out one by one. use them against opposing players to stop them from hiding, as well as using them on yourself to pull off some good hits. For anyone to think shockwaves takes no skill, that is simply not true. And think about it for a second. If you just finished winning a fight completely low on health and see someone trying to finish you off, that's the perfect time to use a shockwave grenade to retreat and heal up. That is a tactical retreat. If you see someone running from a fight using shockwaves, just chase them down. Don't complain about it. Use whatever you have to catch up to them. You may not like shockwaves, but they are necessary to BR. So for Epic to outright remove them when they clearly made them a bit rarer almost a month ago was a brain dead decision to make. And you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with Nick? Well, a month ago, he complained about people using shockwaves a lot and insisted that they should be vaulted. So yes, he has some involvement in this. Obviously, I can't blame him for the change, but seeing that he has a much bigger voice, people are gonna rally for him to make sure Epic listens. And yes, I know the director of BR denied that the change was because of Nick, but...
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Yeah, that is somewhat cap. I mean, he literally tagged the Fortnite account in that tweet. You think they didn't see that tweet? I highly doubt it. So yeah, I still think Nick has some involvement in the situation. Had they removed shockwaves from builds instead of zero builds, that would have been fine, because you're building most of the time during fights. There's no need for shockwaves. But then again, they can still be useful if you're trying to retreat to a much safer spot to heal or gather the storm quickly. However, zero builds is a much different story. You're gonna need them to rotate and get things done quickly, especially considering you're playing a mode with no building. Without them, it just makes mobility feels dull. You can argue that there's crash pads and wingsuits, but one, wingsuits have a timer on it, which makes sense, but isn't that fun to use. And two, crash pads aren't as useful as shockwaves, people, because not only they can't be used in unique ways like the shockwaves, but even opposing players can use the crash pads you place down just so they can catch up with you and try to kill you. And to anyone saying that the crash pads works the same, one, that is not true for the most part, and two, if you think that, then why the fuck would you advocate for shockwaves to be removed from BR? Again, if it's only removed from builds, that's fine, but zero builds needs the shockwaves. That's another issue I have with Nick's complaints. He only complains about these things and is only advocating for change to benefit himself and not thinking about the zero build players. And this clip clearly proves it.
Please. How the frick did it not shoot my shotgun, bro? I love how people are complaining that shockwaves are vaulted, yet they still have crash pads that have the exact same effect. Bro is in the air and I can't even hear him and he just jumps on me. Like, if people want to be mad at me. And I mentioned it a month ago, bro. That's the crazy thing. Like, there's still mobility. More mobility. There's literally more crash pads than there were shockwaves. They just jump on you and you can't do a single thing because there's no sound until they land on you. It's crazy, bro. At least shockwaves, you hear them. It's up to me, I'd remove it all. I'd remove all mobility from Fortnite so you don't get these cheap, like, terrible plays. It's just not fair. Like I said, I think it's good that they kept mobility because that's what people like, you know? As long as people are happy.
I seriously want to punch a hole in the wall every time I hear a complaint. You already asked for shockwaves to be gone. You got your wish granted and you're still goddamn complaining? And now you want all the mobility to be gone? This guy can never be happy unless a change actually benefits him and him only. Like, do you know how incredibly slow and dull it would be without mobility? That's not fun and it just makes matches slower. I can't with this dude. I really don't know what else to say at this point. I don't like the direction it's going in when it comes to the gameplay changes and monetization. I understand wanting to have a conversation about certain things surrounding the game, even if we agree to disagree, but I don't think it'll happen with Nick anytime soon. He needs to grow up and change his content, as well as his behavior. He's about to be 31 this year, so change needs to happen. I don't like bringing up age, but considering how much he complains and how much he whines a lot, I think that's a proper time to actually bring up the age thing. He's almost 31. You can't keep up the family-friendly format forever. So Nick, stop being sensitive over the smallest things, try and have more mature conversations, and don't force others into being family-friendly. There are content creators who have different audiences from yours, and you have to understand that. Try and do more content on the other modes in Fortnite if you think the BR is just not having enough content. And listen, people see you as a man-child, and you have yourself to blame for that. So if you don't want people criticizing you or complaining about you, maybe do yourself a favor and not do the things people call you out for. Hopefully nothing bad comes out from him and he actually tries to go 1 week without complaining, because at this point it's getting pretty tiring. So I'm gonna end this video right here. If you want to keep supporting me, consider using my code STARTASTIC. Tell me what you all think about this. What do you think about Nick K30 and his takes? I would like to know, but please try to keep everything civil. I want to have a civil conversation in the comments. But until then, this is Star the Protagonist signing out. As always, go Genyo and have a STARTASTIC day, everyone. If you enjoyed today's video, then be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn those notifications on to join the Star Nation. Also, be sure to follow my Twitter, and while you're at it, check out my previous video. Now.